isn't it? You just sang some lovely songs, and all together you lifted your voices in praise to God. I want to tell you a story about two boys. One boy's name was Ackiem, and he was a little African boy. Another boy was called Danny, and he was a little missionary boy. Both of these boys were absolutely stuck together. They were the best of friends. Wherever you would see Ackiem, you could expect to see Danny. If you saw Danny, you would see Ackiem. About the only time that there was any separation between Danny and Ackiem was when they went home to eat and sleep. But even many times that wasn't the case, because sometimes Ackiem would come to Danny's house and he would eat food there, and Danny would go to Ackiem's house and eat food there. I don't know that they ever slept over in each other's houses, but they were best of friends. In fact, they were such good friends that their lives were important to each other. In other words, one would have been willing to die for the other. They were that best of friends. One day when Danny's father and I were working on a roof on our mission, we happened to look down the road, and there was Ackiem and Danny. They were just walking along, having the best of time as friends do, talking, chattering back and forth, having such a good time. And then, all of a sudden, we saw Danny jump straight up in the air. And he came down, and Ackiem ran off to the side of the road. He was picking up sticks and stones, and Danny was picking up sticks and stones, and they were throwing them at one place, aiming at one thing. We couldn't see what they were throwing at, but we thought, oh, that's so very strange. We best go and see what this is all about. So we came off of the roof, and we ran up the road to where the two boys were still throwing stones and sticks at something on the ground. As we got closer, we could hear them all excited. They were encouraging each other. Ngoa, Ackiem, Ngoa, Ngoa. And it was that as we got closer, we could see that there was something on the ground that was wiggling all about.
Like a snake.
It was a big old puff adder.
It was a snake.
Ooh. And a puff adder is not a good thing to have about. In fact, a puff adder is one of the most deadly of all snakes in all of the continent of Africa. And what had happened was that as they were walking along, two little boys in bare feet, because nobody wears shoes in Africa out in the bush. You grow your own leather. You make your feet strong and hard. But as they were walking along, they were not paying attention to where they were walking. And there it was, a puff adder laying on the road, but they didn't see it. And Danny actually stepped on it. And as soon as he stepped on it, the puff adder moved. And Danny went whoosh, straight up. jumping up as high as he could, and I think that he flapped his arms to try to fly away. But he didn't land in the same place where he had jumped up from. He landed off to the side, where that puff adder was now very, very, very angry. And it, as puff adders do, they puff up and then they hiss. That's why they're called puff adders. And Ackiem had already seen what the problem was, and he had picked up stones and sticks that were close, and he was throwing them at the snake. And Danny realized also what the problem was, and he joined in. And so as we got closer, we soon found that the boys had already done enough damage to the puff adder that the snake was dead. But it was interesting that Ackiem didn't run away when Danny stepped on that snake. He didn't turn and just say, oh, I'm not going to be around here. He stayed to be right there with his friend Danny. And Danny, when he saw his friend fighting for his life to be able to protect him, he knew that this was a friend that would be true to him no matter what happened. And so it is, we have a friend called Jesus who is true to us no matter what happens in our life. He is faithful and true, that we can trust him to be always there. He will never run from us. We should never run from him. We should always be ready to thank him for being the good friend that he has promised to be. And he has told us, I will never forsake you nor leave you. And that means that he's your every day, every hour, every minute friend, faithful to the very end, to the day that someday we'll get to see him with our own eyes. Right now, he's the friend that will be with us wherever we go. Bless you each one, and never forget to be a faithful friend. God bless.